Jesus, your love is amazing.
Jesus, your love is amazing.
I see your grace all around me.
All around me.
Good evening, brothers. Good evening, beloved. How is today going? I want us to look at the message, rebuilding the nation. And concerning the topic, rebuilding the nation, I want us to read from the book of Nehemiah. We'll read from Nehemiah chapter 2, from verse 1 downward. Now I read. In the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, wine was set before him, and as usual, I took up the wine and gave it to the king. But I had never been gloomy in his presence. So the king said to me, "Why do you look so gloomy when you are not sick? This can be nothing but gloominess of heart." At this I became very frightened. Then I said to the king, "Long live the king. Why should I not look gloomy when the city, the place where my forefathers are buried, lies in ruins and its gates have been consumed by fire?" The king then said to me, "What is it that you seek? What is it that you are seeking?" At once I prayed to the God of the heaven. I then said to the king, "If it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor with you, send me to Judah, to the city where my forefathers are buried, so that I may rebuild it." Then the king said to his royal consort, sitting beside him, say to me, How long will you journey? How long will your journey be? And when will you return? So it pleased the king to send me and gave him a set time. Praise the Lord. Rebuilding the nation. Nehemiah was the king's servant. He served wine to the king. And there is something there. Serving wine to this king, there is no way you will be squeezing your face, glooming your face. It was very, very abominable to do such before the king. But Nehemiah didn't mind, because he knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he was about to do, and he prayed to God for God to grant him access. He asked God, and God was with him. If a servant of the king to the level of Nehemiah, if you come to the king with sadness of your face, every time you are serving the king, you have to be happy. You have to be happy. If you come with sad face before the king, brethren, you will be sentenced to death. But Nehemiah didn't calculate all this. He didn't mind. He was concentrated on what the city of his forefathers, where his ancestral home, what has been happening there, how it has been destroyed, and the gate of it has been burned to fire, consumed by fire. So he came before the king, and the king was pleased with him. He sought for favor from the king, and fortunately, the king granted it. You know, Nehemiah was in a very high position, a very, very high position, a position that he can talk to the king face to face, directly, without sending people to consult from the king before bringing him word. You know, today, that is how most of us around the country, that is how we are close to the masters. That is why we are close to people that can change things around. We are close to people that can change everything around. But it happens Nehemiah kept quiet because he was afraid that he will be sentenced to death. They will kill him, they will punish him, they will throw him into prison. How do you think it would have been possible for him to rebuild the kingdom of his fathers, his forefathers? Nehemiah, he said to the king that when you read down, he said to the king that if it pleases you, send me letters that I might deliver, I might give to these people so that they will grant me access to cut timber for the building of the gates, for the building of the city. And the king did so. The king did so. You know, today we are in very big position, but we are afraid to stand up. We have the opportunities to change things in the country. We have every opportunity to change things in Nigeria. We have all it takes. We have everything to change the situation of the country. It's just for us to open our mouth and request. We are afraid because we don't want to be removed from that position we are. We are afraid that if we talk, that position will be removed, will be chased away from that position. And we have kept humanity suffering. We have kept other people suffering because of our own greed. That is greed. You don't want others to have it. You don't want others' freedom. It is only you that you want. You only value yourself. You don't look. Esther did the same thing. When you read in the Bible, in the book of Esther, from chapter 5. From verse 1, from chapter 1 down to chapter 5. When you read the book of Esther, you know, the time Esther came to the king with his request, the king does not allow anyone to visit him at that time. You have no right to visit the king at that time. But Esther came out with a strategy. Okay, let me dress. She changed her dress. Immediately the king cited her. The king said, "That is my wife coming there." And he asked Esther, "What is your request?" Esther opened up, and that was how Esther's people were also saved. What are you doing in that position? How far have you tried to transform lives? How many people have you helped where you are today? God has placed you in that position to help people, to help your people, to help the kingdom where you come from. What have you done? How far, how well have you transformed the situation in your place? They are killing people everywhere. Your place has been demolished. They have burned everything, but you are still silent because you value your position. If you talk, they will remove you from this position. You'll be taken away. So you don't want to talk. If you open your mouth, you will lose your job. The greed, money, the love of money, the love of ourselves have kept others suffering. Other people are suffering because we are silent. We have prominent sons which God has appointed in the government today to speak to the president, to make a change. They are silent. They cannot utter a word because they think if they open mouth, if they talk, by next time they won't be given such appointments and they will be chased out of that position at the moment. And you don't know the reason why God placed you in that position. What are you doing? And sometimes some masters, you know, people don't like the truth today. Most people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. When you tell them the truth, they become upset with you. But what do? You pray to God. You pray to God to grant you the access, to give you the wisdom to handle such situations. What are you doing there? How far have you tried? How far have you tried? Try, at least try to make a change. Make your request. Make your request.